Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. So I asked y'all what questions you had for a Q&A, so I'm here to do that. It's been a few months since I've done one. I can't even remember the last time I've done one. I don't know if I've done one since I've had Callan, or like, I think maybe right after I had him, I done like a Q&A maybe about him. I can't even remember now, but I'm here to do a Q&A answering a lot of y'all's questions that y'all asked. I'm gonna get through most of them that I can, most of them that I feel comfortable answering. All right, so I'm pulling those up now, all of your questions that you asked. So let's just get started with it. So this video is not super long. I'm gonna go to the very bottom and work my way up. So a lot of the questions may be about like a certain subject, but it may be just like all over the place, so I can kind of stay in order and not get lost. Also, my kids, today's been a work day for me. My kids have been gone for the majority of the day. I dropped them off at Granda's house this morning, and Ethan is actually going to get them right now. He actually brought Callan with him so I can get this video done. So I've got about 30-45 minutes before they get back, and so that's why I decided let's go ahead and get this Q&A done so I can go ahead and get it filmed. Okay, so the first question is a good one. Do you ever say no to companies for sponsorships if you don't like their products? All the time, every single week. There's been companies that they've been wanting to pay really good, and it didn't either fit my channel, or it's just something that I didn't like, or I didn't think I would like. It's just maybe just something that wouldn't fit my channel. But I say no to companies more than I say yes to companies, probably. So I appreciate y'all so much with sponsorships. I mean, sponsorships are a big way that I'm able to bring income in and make money with this job. And so I never say yes to a sponsorship that I don't like myself, or that I don't think y'all would like. Maybe some of you guys could benefit from it. But I say no to a lot of sponsorships, and I'm just really appreciative of you guys that continue watching. And honestly, I never get like a lot of negative comments about the sponsorships that I do, or the amount of sponsorships that I do. I feel like I have a good balance of sponsored videos and non-sponsored videos, but there is times, I feel like it happens quite often, where all of my sponsorships are due at one time. So there may be 3, 4, 5 videos that like back to back, but I don't mean for it to happen like that. It's just, and I may go like 2 weeks without a sponsorship at all. But thank y'all so much for always being so supportive with those. And if you're not interested in it, just click through the 60-second sponsorship, or 60-second part, or 2-minute part of the sponsorship. But thank y'all so much for always being so supportive of them. A lot of y'all wanted to know how I am feeling with 4 kids and how the transition has been. A lot of time, honestly, I feel like it's been a good transition, but a lot of times I feel very overwhelmed, especially like in the beginning. It was more so like when Millie was still adjusting to him. She had a little bit of a harder time adjusting in the beginning, and then now it's more so trying to balance my work life and mom life, because my kids are always home with me. I don't usually have help during the day. Thankfully my mother-in-law's been off during the summer, and maybe one day a week or one day every couple weeks. I asked her if she wants to keep the kids so I can get some work done, but it's really tough because my kids are always home, so I'm having to work my videos around that, and that's been one of the toughest parts. I keep saying that I'm gonna have help 1 or 2 days a week, which is gonna be very helpful when school starts back for sure. But it's been a good transition, but it's definitely been a lot of other people asked what's been the hardest transition: 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. Definitely 3 to 4 has been the hardest. I think it's definitely been the hardest. I think a lot of it has to do with Millie being so attached to me and jealousy in the beginning, but it's definitely been the toughest. Tips for toddlers and church. So honestly, we just do the best we can. We do have a church nursery that if Millie wants to go play in there, I let her go in there. If she doesn't, I don't make her go in there. But we just do the best we can. If she starts getting rowdy, we'll walk out and go. I may stay in the nursery with her for a little bit, or we bring snacks. Yeah, we just honestly just do the best we can and just continue bringing our babies to church. And I think that's important for them to know that, you know, we need to, our faith is a big thing for us. We're not always 100% faithful and go every single church service. Most of the time we do, but there are times that if something's going on, we may not, and which is not the right thing to do in our opinion, but sometimes that does happen. But honestly, we just keep doing it, and eventually they'll get there. Eventually they'll learn. Once they get up to like Ren's age, 3 and 4, they can start doing a lot better. In our experience, that they do start doing a lot better. Did that help? Can the girls wear each other's clothes? Actually, Ren, not really. Like pajamas. Millie lately has been asking to wear Ren's gowns, and they're just like oversized for her, but she loves it. But for the most part, I mean, I don't really let them. They just have their own space for their own clothes. And definitely Millie and Ren could not. Millie's like a 2T, Ren's like a 5T. And then Delaney's like a 7-8 and Ren's like a 5. So not really. What is my absolute favorite vacation spot? Honestly, I don't know. There's not been, we haven't traveled a ton to different places. We love to go in the mountains in like the fall time, even winter time. We love that. Typically for our anniversary, we go to like Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee area. But we also love a beach in the summertime. So we were going to go to a Florida beach this year, and then decided not to with Callan being so young and finding somewhere to go within budget. And yeah, I don't know if I'd say I have a favorite. I just love the mountains in a certain time of the year, and then the beach in a certain time of the year. How is the mother-son bond compared to mother-daughter bond? Callan, I mean, I love my babies all the same. I mean, they're every single one of them, but just the mother-son bond is just the sweetest. And I'm so glad that we've been able to experience having a little boy too. He is just the sweetest. He's such a mama's boy. His smiles, it's just the best. And like I said, my girls are just also, I love the bond between us as well, but then it's just like a bond, the bond between each child is just so special. And so I'm just really glad that we've been able to experience both. Do I plan on doing Weight Watchers? A lot of Weight Watcher questions are in here. Do I plan on doing Weight Watchers long term, or will I ever switch to calorie counting? I am open to anything really. I mean, Weight Watchers is something that I've done over the past 4 years, 4 years. And it works for me, and it may not work for everybody, and it's maybe not something that everybody wants to do, but it just works for me. And eventually, if I want to switch, I'll just try something different. I just don't have the desire to try anything different right now. I'm breastfeeding. I get a lot of points every single day, and I feel satisfied every single day with what I'm able to eat. So eventually, if I ever wanted to switch it up, I'd just switch it up. I mean, I'm not like I would only do Weight Watchers. I mean, it's just something that I've done for the past like 4 years or so, and it's just worked for me, and I'm able to lose pretty well with it, and it's something that is sustainable for me. But yeah, I'm open to other things. Do you ever expect to have the following that you do? I've always hoped to grow my following. And when I started YouTube, I didn't know where it would go. Honestly, if I go back to some of my very first videos, I'm like, how did I even grow my channel? But I've always wanted that. I've always wanted to grow and make videos as my job. I used to work outside the home, and then I actually worked at a preschool for a while, and then that's where I stopped working after I got pregnant with our quads. And then I got pregnant with Delaney, and so when Delaney was like 2 or almost 2, I started working at the preschool that she went to, and I loved doing that so much. And then Ren was 1. She had just turned 1, and that's when I made the decision to stay home and do YouTube full time, because I was just making more on YouTube than I was making at the preschool. It just made more sense to try to pursue this more full time, and it just kind of started taking off more after that, and I'm really grateful for that. I'm grateful for the following I have, whether I stay where I'm at forever or whether I hit 100,000 subscribers, which would be amazing. But I'm just really thankful for everybody who watches my videos, and I'm thankful for that I've been able to grow my following. What denomination are you? We are Baptist. We go to a Baptist church. And then she also asked, can I talk more about my faith? So I grew up probably in and out of church. We didn't go consistently growing up. More so towards the end of my childhood, teen years, we did go a lot more often. We were pretty rooted in a church. And then Ethan and I started dating, and we would go to my church sometimes, and then we would go to his church sometimes. But we knew when we got married that we were going to go to the church Ethan grew up in, and we love it. We love our church and everyone there and everything about it. And I was saved in 2013. So it was actually the year that we lost our quads. We had a church service, and it was a really good church service. I don't remember how many, but a lot of people got saved in that service. And I felt like I was saved when I was younger, but I didn't feel completely right. And so I think it was April 28th, 2013 is when I got saved. And Ethan, I think my camera's about to cut off. Okay, and then Ethan, I believe he was 17. I need to go back and ask him, but he was saved as a teen. But yeah, it's important to us, our church is important to us, and important for our kids to grow up in that. Are the big girls going into in-person school in the fall? So we're not planning on homeschooling anymore. Delaney wants to go back to school. And I don't want to talk much about it just because I want to keep more of my life private than I did in the beginning of my YouTube journey. So I don't really want to go into detail about schooling and stuff for the kids, but we are not planning on homeschooling this year. She's excited to go back to school. Ren and Millie will actually go to preschool. Millie, we're planning on, unless I change my mind before that, but I think it's going to be really good for her, and she'll have a lot of fun, and it'll give me just a little bit of time, 2 days a week for just a few hours a day. It's not even that long, just to be able to get some work done, be able to edit stuff. I'll have Callan here, but he's still small, likes to sleep a lot, and hopefully will nap for me to get stuff done while they're in preschool and while Delaney's in school. So that's our plan. Has Ethan ever thought about doing a YouTube channel? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think he has. What would we have named Callan if he was a girl? Callan would have been Collins Emery if Callan had been a girl. How do I curl my hair? It's always beautiful. Well, thanks so much. I actually use a curling wand. I actually just curled it right before I started this video. I use a what's it called? A T3 curling wand is what I use. It's the tapered one. What is my #1 must-have baby item, and can I do an updated video on that? I've actually thought about doing a baby must-have video, so maybe I can get some things together and do that eventually. So this is my #1. This is something that I bought that I wasn't expecting to love so much, but I know it's not for everybody, but I love our Duna car seat. And I say that knowing that it's not something for everybody and for everybody to be able to purchase, but actually I got it because I had gift cards is the only reason I had originally bought it, because we needed sounded like somebody was here. We needed a new stroller. We needed a new single to double stroller. I had gotten rid of our single stroller. We didn't have a stroller at all. And so we needed a stroller. So I was wanting to get a single to double stroller. So there was a few different options I was looking at, $500+ for those. But we also had a nice double stroller that I loved. It's a side-by-side double. But Callan, the newborn stage, he's too small for it. And so I knew it was going to be a while before we could use that. And that's when I was like, what if I just got the Doona for now? And then if we needed a double stroller, Millie and Ren's still young enough to use that. Millie and Ren could use it. And it was seriously the best decision to do that. It has seriously been the best purchase. It has its cons. Well, really the only con for me is it's very heavy, like putting it in the car. But literally the only time I put it, or the only time I pick it up, is putting it in and out of the car. Like wherever we go, I'm strolling it in, rolling it in. But also, if you've never heard of the Doona, you can Google it. It's like a car seat that turns into a stroller as well. It really has been the most convenient purchase. I love that thing, and I didn't think I would love it so much, but I really have. And especially like with multiple kids, like if I have to walk in somewhere, I'm able to stroll him and still hold their hands, or they will like hold onto the stroller the entire time, where I'm not having to like carry the car seat and try to hold everybody's hand. It's just been really convenient, especially with multiple kids. How and when do you handle swaddle transition? So probably usually like 4 months, maybe a little bit more. When he starts rolling is when, like, he'll roll from like his belly to his back, but not the other way. That's when we'll start transitioning. But Callan does so well with the swaddle, and so I hope we can continue that for a while longer. But I think I typically transition into like a sleep sack. We may try like the nested bean, like weighted swaddle, if y'all ever heard of those this time, or what is the one called, Love to Dream, where their hands can, I don't know if that's something that's supposed to just be like before they roll, but we thought about trying that too. But he loves to be swaddled. We actually love our Swaddle Me swaddles that like Velcro. He does like the best in those. Is this house our forever home? I think our goal is for it not to be our forever home. I think we're going to be here a while, and we love our house, and we moved at the perfect time, I feel like. I mean, we were outgrowing our old house. We had just found out we were having another baby. Actually, like, I think we had decided to sell our house before I even found out I was pregnant, but like we moved at the perfect time and we needed a bigger home. But I think our goal eventually is to get something just a little bit bigger than this, like with a little more land, and even build one day. We'd love to build. But we have like no plans like in the near future to do that as of right now. Okay, a lot of questions about another baby. Does our family feel this is a good way to word it. Does our family feel complete after Callan? I'm due with our last, and I'm worried I won't. And so many questions. Baby number 5, are you gonna have another baby? That was my most asked question. So I've always wanted 4 kids. We lost quads our very first pregnancy. I've always wanted 4 kids after that. Not to like replace them or anything like that, but I just knew like I've always wanted 4 kids. But then again, we've always said we'll take it like one at a time and see. And so I knew after Millie, I knew I wasn't done. But Ethan actually, he told me, you know, I'm perfectly fine with 3 kids. And then probably when Millie was, I don't know, 7 or 8 months old, he actually said, I think I want another baby. Like, even though he said like, I'm done, like I'm perfectly content with 3. And then when she got just a little bit older, that's when he said, I think I want a 4th. And I feel like our family's complete, but at the same time, I feel like if like 4 or 5 years from now, if we decided to have another one, I would love that too. So I don't know if that's something my husband would. Right now he says like we're completely done. So you know, like as our kids get older, we didn't make any permanent decisions because I didn't want our kids to get a little older, because I'm still young. I'm not even 30 yet. And so I didn't want our kids to get a little older and us regret the decision of making a permanent decision and not, I mean, obviously there's ways to reverse that, but you know, if our kids, when Callan's like 5, if we were like, you know what, let's have one more baby. I mean, who knows? But right now, I'm very, very content with my 4 kids. I want to enjoy Callan's baby stage and toddlerhood, and I'm just very content. But in the future, if we both come to that mutual decision to have baby number 5, to have a handful of kids, then we would talk about it then. But I would love to know how you knew your family was complete. I feel like I've heard so many people say, you just know, like after you have your last baby, you just know that your family's complete. And I hear so many people say that, but at the same time, like I love the baby stage and toddler stage, and it makes me sad for my kids to grow up. And at the same time, I'm like, would I ever feel like I never want another baby? I mean, my husband, if my husband watches this video, he's like, no, don't even think, he's gonna say, no, don't even think about it. But yeah, if y'all are finished, if any of y'all are finished having kids, I would love to know, like, how did you know your family was 100% complete? But I'm very, very thankful for the kids we have, especially because a lot of people can't experience that. My favorite Weight Watcher meals. Okay, I love to grill things. I love breakfast, like breakfast for dinner, Kodiak cakes, eggs, bacon, eaten out. I love Jimmy John's, like my number 1 right now is Jimmy John's. A turkey tom. Turkey, no tomato, I guess just turkey. Their French bread is the best. I love their bread. I do get the mayonnaise, a little bit of Dijon mustard, and the oregano basil. I'm getting ahead of myself. That is like my number 1 right now. I actually might eat that for supper tonight, even though I ate it for lunch yesterday. Taco Bell, their chicken power bowls are so good and so filling for the points. I love Chick-fil-A. That's mainly what I eat when we eat out. I actually, even if like everybody else eats something different, I'll typically like order online like a Jimmy John's sub or something. How many siblings do I have? I actually have an older sister. Her name is Ashley. A younger sister, her name is Emily. And then my mom actually lost a baby girl, her very first baby. She lived for 9 hours, so I have a sister in heaven. Her name was Betsy. Do y'all budget or have any tips living off one income with a baby? So there was a point where we did live off one income. Now we both have incomes, full-time incomes, but there was a point when we both lived off one income. And I'm not gonna lie, it was actually really tough. We had to budget everything. Actually, like we followed like the Dave Ramsey like envelope system for a while because we just needed to do that. So if you are, I really recommend like the Dave Ramsey system. We didn't do Dave Ramsey like completely, like all his baby steps and everything like that, but I really do recommend that. I think that helped us out so much whenever we were living off one income and like needed that to budget to like actually like kind of like get by, I guess. How did Ethan and I meet? So when I was in high school, when Ethan was in high school and like through college, we both worked at a local grocery store called Ingles, and that's how we met. This floor is getting so uncomfortable. Do you ever plan on taking the kids on a cruise? Maybe a Disney cruise? I'd love to go on a cruise one day. I would love to go on a Disney cruise one day, but I want to take my kids to Disney World first. And we're actually hopefully planning that within like the next year. I'm pretty excited about that. How much weight have I lost since starting Weight Watchers this time after Callan? I've lost so far about 45 pounds. So I have about, my camera keeps like cutting off, but I have like probably close to, probably like 3 to 5 more pounds to get back down to like pre-pregnancy weight. But then I have a ways to go after that to get down to like my lowest where I just feel really good. But I've lost about 45 so far. Okay, have I ever suffered from postpartum depression? I have not. But if you are going through that, definitely seek help. Don't be ashamed of it. I know so many women struggle with that. After I had Millie, I think I had a little bit of the baby blues, but I've never actually struggled with postpartum depression. How did Millie do or is doing now with the new baby? She said, I'm adding one soon, very nervous. I touched on this a little bit. She was jealous in the beginning. We even had some like trying to hit the baby in the beginning and just super jealous in the beginning. But she definitely started warming up to him, and now she's just so sweet to him. She kisses him all the time. She wants to like kiss his head like right here all the time. She is constantly talking to him, and so now that she knows he's staying, now that he's here, and just kind of got used to that, she's doing so much better with him. What things get you through the day when you are so exhausted as a mom? Coffee. Sometimes I have a couple cups of coffee a day. Actually, no, it's already 4:30, so let me not do that. Coffee, nap time. Nap time is a big one. And I've definitely tried to keep my kids on a good schedule with that. Millie takes a nap every day. Callan naps throughout the day. Delaney and Ren does not nap anymore, but they have quiet time. And I definitely try to make sure that they do have that quiet time every day, watching a movie on the couch, maybe let them watch their tablets for a little bit, just quietness in the house. Usually nap time every day goes decent most days, and that's what really gets me through, whether I'm able to get work done, which is what I do most days at nap time, or housework. That's what I do a lot at nap time as well. So nap time is really big, especially when I'm exhausted and I just want to. Most of the time I don't lay down and naps. Maybe once every 3 weeks I might take a nap. And then bedtime. During the summer our kids have went to bed a lot later than usual, but bedtime, and Callan does really well at night when we put him down, and he'll stay asleep for, until early morning, 3 or 4. But just getting the kids down at a decent time, and then being able to have me time or me and Ethan time. How do I stay motivated on WW Weight Watchers? It's so tough sometimes, and I think for me, once I find my motivation, I can do so well for a while. But sometimes I'll lose that motivation, and I may not do good for a little while. And then once I find that motivation back, it's hard to explain, but right now for me, honestly, to be completely honest, it's not that bad because I get a lot of extra points than a typical person does. So for me, it's probably a lot easier for a lot of you out there who are doing Weight Watchers and don't get a lot of extra points like I do because I breastfeed. And so, obviously it's just finding something that works for you. For me, also meal prepping, super low point meal preps is what I've been loving to do lately. But it's tough to stay motivated for sure. You just gotta look at your end goal and just keep working towards that. Also for me, having a cheat or off track day, more so off track meal and dessert for me lately is what I've been doing. But once I'm close to my goal weight, that's when I'll have an off track day. And even when I'm at goal weight, I might have an off track weekend, and typically I'm able to maintain by doing that. Eat really good all week and then have an off track weekend. But it's just finding what works for you though. That may not work for everybody else. Can I do more what I eat in a day's starting Weight Watchers again? She said, yes, I need to. I feel like my plan was to do a lot more of them than I have. I feel like I've done them once every couple weeks, but yes, I will definitely. Sometimes I get in a rut and I may eat the same thing all the time, and I don't want to include that in videos, me eating the same thing all the time. So, obviously I want the videos to be different and not all I'm eating this for breakfast every day or this for lunch every day. So when I find something new, that's when I usually will do a new what I eat today. Any more trips before school starts? We don't have anything planned before school starts as of right now, but I love a spontaneous trip. So I'd love to do something like a day trip or even an overnight trip with the kids before school starts back. We also have a Labor Day weekend trip planned as well. Are we gonna do anything else to our house? I wanna decorate now. not like seasonal, like decorations that can stay up all year long. I want to now put rugs in rooms, decorate the girls' rooms, because I hadn't done much of that. Like at least like wall decor, like we've got their furniture and things that's gonna stay, but I want to get a rug for every bedroom for mine and Ethan's. I want to get curtains for mine and Ethan's bedrooms, some like decor for in there. So now like I'd really just love to like decorate more. I mean, we've been here 8.5 months. Also, we'd love to fence in our backyard eventually. That's probably another big project we'd like to do. I don't know when we'll do that, but as far as like, yeah, that's like really right now is like decorating some spaces. We're also waiting on our shower door for our shower to be complete. They actually told us 3 weeks, and I think we're on week 5 now, so it's definitely been delayed. But once we have that, our shower will be complete, and we've really enjoyed our shower so much. I will say we got a bench for our shower, and we have like hardly used that, so I feel like that might have been a little useless for us. Let me know if y'all have a bench in your shower, if you actually use it. Like sometimes if I shave my legs, I like prop my leg, but I don't actually sit on it. Do I do all my social media work myself, or do I have a manager? So I have a brand manager, and she basically reaches out to brands for me. She has her own company. She reaches out to brands. She negotiates on my behalf. Like there's, she don't necessarily do all of the sponsorships, but a lot of them she will kind of handle for me. And like she'll do like the back and forth with the brands and tell me, you know, different things. So yes, I do have a brand manager, and she's great and definitely been very helpful with sponsorships. There's been times where a company might have reached out to me and I've been very interested, and I'll send it to her and say, hey, I'm interested in this if you'd like to kind of handle that. She's been great. So yes, a brand manager just kind of handles like most of the brands that I work with. Do I love what I do, and what is my favorite part of my job? I love it so much, and I still like all the time say like, I can't believe I'm able to do YouTube full time, and I just love being able to interact with y'all. I'm so glad I have comments on now, which reminds me I need to go reply back to comments from today's video. So I'm gonna go do that today. I just love being able to interact with y'all. I love when y'all send me comments for my videos and interact and send me just really encouraging messages and kind messages. I love that I'm able to stay home with my kids and be like my own boss. And one day if I don't want to film or do work, I don't have to. So I just love having like my own little small business, and love y'all so much, and just being able to be home with my kids and just be real flexible with that. All right, so I've actually not been able to get to all these. I still have several left, but the garage door is opening. That means my kids are home. So I hope y'all enjoyed this. I'll definitely do another one soon. Let me know if y'all enjoy doing these Q&As, and let me get off here before they walk in. So I hope y'all did enjoy it, and I'll see you guys soon for another video. Bye.